I know, sometimes if it's always that, I would choose. I. Exactly. Call to order the meeting of Committee of the Whole, Tuesday, June 11th, 2024 at 5 p.m. Being held and transmitted electronically via council chambers located at 39 South Shore Road in Lake Cowichan. We acknowledge with respect and gratitude the Suboxet people who share these lands where we live, work, and recreate together in harmony. Introduction of any late items. Mayor, you have one?
I do, under business, I think, UCM minister meetings, just that we can, notice motion from the last council meeting.
Yeah.
And discuss the appropriate meetings and ministers we'd like to have, and so the administrator can have some background information ready for us.
Okay, that's C, new business. Do I have someone motion to accept the agenda with the addition?
I've just got an item.
Oh, sorry, did you have one?
Yeah, unfinished business.
Business arising?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's to do with the video, audio video system.
Audio, video. Righty ho. Do I have a motion? Councillor Sandu, Councillor Frisbee, second, all in favor? Public input on agenda items only. You have 3 minutes. Okay, I see a head shake and we have only one person in the room. Minutes for information only from the previous meeting with the recommendations that were ratified. Any questions on that or comments? And then we go down to business arising, audio, video. Mr. Fernandez.
Yes, the company out of Vancouver has come back with a revised price quote, and this is for a full audio video system. And they've quoted $50,995.23 plus tax. So council's interested in going that way, or going with the other system that was a hybrid system, which was I think in the 40+ range, which is out of, for a company out of Victoria.
Are they very similar?
No, it's a better system. The one, I mean, if you want to go with a good system, it's going to cost you $90,000 in Victoria, but the one from Vancouver's got a system that's similar to the one that Fort Goodland was using.
Mm-hmm.
It's got cameras, it's got a couple of screens, and the full system.
And microphones for everyone?
Everything.
Anybody else have a question? Councillor Frisbee?
So does it have in-room speakers as well?
Yes, on the walls.
Councillor Sandu?
So we'll be getting our desks, is that how?
Yeah, we're gonna
is that
have-
how it's gonna be, it's like a.
It's going to be an oval shaped desk,
And then
with
staff
the-
will have a desk?
and we will have, yeah, yes, we'll have a speaker too.
Okay, good. That's important. Yeah. Anyone else, Mayor?
I think part of the problem why people don't watch online is the problem with the audio. And that will rectify some of the systems. And when people come to make presentations, it's quite embarrassing to not have the capacity for them to show their presentations through a video system. So if we can at least get up to the 2000s, that would be impressive. I think we should move this forward to council meeting for approval, one way or the other. So if we can move this to council meeting this month, second or fourth Tuesday of this month, to either approve this one or the other one, if we can have a comparison.
I'll do a comparison, I'll do a full report.
Appreciate that.
Staff report? Okay. Yes, Councillor. Well, Matt?
Will we be getting the report for on Friday with our agenda, so we have time to look it over?
Give me next one.
for our regular meeting.
For your regular meeting.
Yeah, will we give it ahead of time? Okay, thank you.
Anything, oh, Council President,
I know that some of the other councils run a system where it shows documents as part of the video as well.
Yes,
Do we have the staff to be able to do that?
well, I was looking at actually. Using the secretary for that,
Okay,
so we will have Ronnie Twain. She'll be running the system.
she'll be training. This is new to her.
No, we'll all get it.
Well, everyone should know in case someone's away.
No, it's Ronnie.
Which one? Yes, Council
so
President?
just furthermore, because I know last meeting you came to us with a quote for 80-something thousand, and then you received a quote that day for 40-something, so that was the hybrid type.
Yeah,
thing?
that was using the hour.
Oh,
That
okay.
was with the hour.
Okay, but now we've got one that was an $80,000 thing down to 50,000.
Yeah, a different company,
Similar.
different company.
Thank you.
Councilor Sanadu.
So if we pass this at the next, our regular meeting, what's the time frame? for
They said
our
6 weeks,
furniture
I
and-
think about 6 weeks.
And what about our desks, is that ordered?
Well, it has been, and I just not sure where, what state it's at.
It's the cabinet people here.
Yeah.
Right, maybe you can get an update on that as well, or both.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Thank you. Delegations of representations, none. Correspondence, action items. The first one is Elise Nelson, candidate for BC Ambassador Program, request for financial support. I don't know if everyone's read her letter. Is it something we want to talk about, maybe make the decision at the regular meeting? We don't need to make them immediately. It's only 2 weeks. I know, but it's still even a letter. It's only 2
Yeah, I
weeks
know.
away from the regular. What's your Councilor Sanders?
Just through to the mayor and see what have we done in the past, like if there's been a request for like the museum, has there been a request before?
I believe it has by a previous candidate to the current
Okay,
member. There was a small financial donation to her as well.
okay.
I think we're probably imperative that we find out what's left in the grant and aid.
$500.
$500 for that. We know that there will be probably a couple more coming throughout the year to drive that, et cetera, maybe coming forward. If you want to make a decision now, that would go to council, that's final.
Brad has had their, last weekend.
So it won't be charged.
So can we move to-
You can do what you want.
Could I move that we allocate $250 from the grant aid to Elise Nelson for the BC Ambassador program?
And Councilor Womack is second. Any discussion? Yes, Mr.
I know last year there was a time frame when applications had been made for grants and aid. Is that no longer the case? We got rid of it?
No, it's not that. There's always a few that come late, like the really important ones have to have a financial statement and everything. Sometimes it's might be the volleyball team or a baseball team, and we usually do a little bit. I was disappointed in hearing that this ambassador program is pretty well dead or we get a lot of places, but we still have ours, so. We'll see how that goes.
Not the BC.
You mean it's just the one that,
It's our local ambassador program, what for municipalities. This is the BC one.
yeah,
so-
I know. I just thought they said that they weren't doing it in all the municipalities either.
Well, that's
Or this,
different
or
for
this.
this. No, it's.
Certainly. There was only 5 candidates for the BC one that was held here last year.
Yeah,
So it is pretty limited.
it is limited, yeah. So, Mayor McGonagall,
And I had the opportunity to attend last year, it was held in Huntington Bay. The presentations were phenomenal by the candidates. Were there, I'm not sure where it is this year, but I think it's only fitting that we at least try to contribute to our local campaign.
any further discussion? So we'll take the vote on that. All those in favor? Opposed? And carried. So we have 250 left in the grant and aid now. Okay, moving on to reports, finance and administration, it would have to be our former finance and administration. Mr. Fernandez.
I'll just wait for questions for you.
You're not gonna read the report from?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor Sandy.
Yeah, I'll just ask a couple that can be answered tonight. The first one was under Parks, Trails Edge Park, there's a budget of $4,000. Is that just to maintain?
That's
Is it just-
operation, that's operation.
Maybe you could explain that.
What are you looking at? Page what?
Would be under Parks. Right, under Parks, page 10.
And
And Trails Edge Park, budget $4,000.
yeah, that's a new plot that we acquired. So that's just for basically labor.
Weed eating, whatever it is,
Yes.
just keep it, okay. And, the other one was, under Public Works crosswalk lights, there's no budget, but there's $9,346 spent on that, so I was just curious what that was.
Yeah, that was a grant we got from ICBC to deal with two problems, right? And yeah, so that's why we did budget for it.
Okay.
And that was the one on Big George, and was there another one?
And there was the other one, Carlton Lake Road in Lake Park.
Oh, right, okay,
Okay, one more.
yes.
Under capital for town hall reno, there's a budget of 20,000 and actual is 34,759. So will that increase more? Like, is there more? And that,
How much was the amount?
budget was 20,000. The actual to date was $34,759.
The page 12,
I'm just trying to,
page 12,
well.
is it?
Oh, on, page 13. So town hall renovations under general.
For town hall renovation.
Yeah. Page 12 under
Yeah, I see.
the. Right.
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
Okay, that's fine. That's all.
Anything else from anyone else? No, everything's good, okay, thank you. The coaching building inspectors report for May 2024 for information, any questions on that? Mayor, hold on.
I understand that our current building inspector is moving on from our employee. I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Look forward to our new building inspector coming on. With that, Madam Chair, is there a timeline on a replacement? Mr. Burnett?
We're looking for Sue,
Pardon me?
hoping very soon,
It has been advertised, et cetera, I see.
and we've got an application.
Excellent, thank you. So I want to thank Mr. Young for his years of service. He's been quite busy in the last couple of weeks, so it's going out with a bang, so thank you very much, Mr. Young.
Thank you. Anything else? No? Okay, we'll go on to the fire department. For April 2024, $12,522.53. Any questions on that before we make the motion?
I do have one. Again, on the alarms activated, there is a bylaw on that can be implemented, the charges and keeping track of that, I'm sure. And also the medical aids. Something I harp on quite consistently about the need for volunteer fire department communities and the need for some sort of remittance from senior levels of government for providing that service, whether it be for motor vehicle accidents or medical assistance. I think it's important to continue on that, advocating for sufficient funds so the taxpayers are not held accountable for those services that should be implemented by senior levels of government.
Thank you. Yes, I met the minister at one of our ABICCs, one of the people in there mentioned that again. And luckily, one of an ex-fire chief was with me, so he really went after them on that as well. So it is very important. So the amount is 12,522.53. Do we have a motion to accept that? Councillor Sandu, Mayor McGonigal, all those in favor? And the next one is, 8 is for, May, and it is 8,885.15. Any questions before we motion? Yes, Mayor McGonigal?
What I said in the previous one,
Ditto, just say ditto, that works.
I will move the amount of $8,805.15.
Far out. Thank you, seconder, Councillor Sandu, all those in favor? Okay. Get out of here. So the next one is the riparian area infractions at 11 South Shore Road. I think we have a report on that from the Ministry of Fire, from Bob Grant, or is it?
No, the Ministry of,
Okay, but Bob initiated it, I presume. Robert Randall, any questions on that or discussion? Councillor Frisbee?
Yeah, so I see a report's been made. Has there been any feedback of what has happened to that property?
yeah, well, we've been dealing with this issue for some time. And, Mr. Crandall also dealt with it. The ministry's not been that keen to deal with it. They've talked to him. Our bylaw officer has also dealt with the current owners at 11. And they have indicated as of Friday, they were going to submit a report to us as to the people that they've used for an assessment. So we should see that pretty soon.
Anything further?
Yeah, just for background, I actually seen this place from the water last week, and what I've done in that property is disgusting. I've just dumped gravel all through the riparian zone. And is there anything that we can do from the municipal level to punish people that are doing it? Because
No.
there's also some things on Prospect where people are just pushing it from the riparian zone.
Well, the riparian areas regulations are something that we have control over. It's a province Ministry of Environment that we report to and ask them to deal with them. And they don't have the resources to deal with those issues. They try and deal with them as best as we can. So that we're sort of in a difficult position. There are regulations in place, but it's not for us to enforce it, other than we use persuasion, tell them, look, you need a QEP to do this. And generally, that's how we deal with it. But, you know, when people don't listen to us, it's tough. So we try. Most times, generally, people are pretty good.
And furthermore, are there any building permits out for that property? Like, I know they're doing a lot of work in that area, but there's no permits. Okay, thank you.
Mayor McGonigal?
I think that we continue to lobby the Ministry of Environment to deal with not only this incident, but there have been several water corridors and riparian management areas that have been implemented regardless of QAPs, etc. I know a lot of incidents where the proper process has been done, but there are some that forego that process, and I think it's not fair to the people who have done the proper QAPs, etc. So hopefully we can have an update on this as it transpires, if anything does transpire.
Thank you. I know this has happened in Newell too. They've had lots of different ones all along the lake as well. Anything else on that? No? Okay, thank you. The next one is signage bylaw. It says being amended with a question mark. I'm not quite sure what that means. Councillor Frisbee.
This is an agenda item I brought forward, so currently, there's no way for a, building or business owner to put a mural on the side of the building. Well, actually, there's there's one there, but, currently there'd be no way to do that. It would have to be an arts, society or something to put that forward. I know that there's a number of bare walls and interesting, paint selections on the main street. I know Skymont have adopted murals to try and brighten up the neighbourhood. I'm just wondering if there is an appetite from this council to start looking at the ability for businesses to put murals on their buildings, and one of the reasons why this been brought forward is because there's quite a popular mural artist that's just moved to Lake.
We have had murals before on a lot of them, and some of them have been painted out. So I don't, is there anything in the sign bylaw that talks about murals?
No, I actually spoke to the planner on this issue. He said the way to resolve it is to put in a section in the signage bylaw. And see, the problem is we've had signage put on in past years, but nobody has maintained it. So you've got to put in some mechanism where you can allow them to put signs, but you will also have to require them to keep them updated.
And maybe that's something that could go to the ABC to work on,
That could
and
be,
signs and that type of thing. And Council Sunday,
No, I was just gonna say, would that go be?
yeah,
Just a comment to that. Part of that planning has to be that the business has the permission of the owner of the building.
and usually that's how it works. We don't issue permits without the owner sign.
And would that be something similar to our regular sign bylaw that if a business was to cease in that building, that mural would be painted over?
That's something that will have to be incorporated into such a bylaw.
Because there's still businesses in town that have vacated and
Yeah.
they're still there. I thought it was a bylaw on that.
well, yeah. There's, what's, the furniture store, it still says, see my sofas. I thought, well, maybe I should go and have a look. So maybe,
People do.
well, they do.
I'm gonna look at my shoes.
Can we talk to the owner and say, please take that sign down? When it-
Yeah, we can.
There was another sign I saw the other day, and I forget where it is, and I thought,
Kids Mercantile was vacated.
that's another one, so
So, if you,
make a list of the two, those are two, yeah, there's another one too, it doesn't matter, but, yeah, I saw the sofa sign again on the way to the rec center. Really, okay, so that will go to the ABC then. Mayor McGonigal,
I see Duncan implementing many First Nations murals, so if we implement an amendment to the sign bylaw to accommodate that, I would like to see some First Nation art within some of the buildings, and that would be totally up to those who are the owners of the buildings, but just to get a cross section of opportunities for brightening up the uptown and downtown core. I'm gonna pick on one. As said, there were previous murals placed by the Arts Council of the day. Unfortunately, as you see, there has been little upkeep, and putting that in the bylaw, I think is imperative. That either on termination of lease, that it be either afforded to the new tenant, or that it be removed, and that the upkeep be the responsibility of the property. So when that goes to the ABC, of those comments, I see a member of the ABC in the audience, so I'm sure he was taking notes. Appreciate that. So I would move this subject to the ABC for their input along with the plan.
and also, don't forget, the Arts Council wanted to be in on this, and we haven't done anything yet with, organizing the Arts Council. I told them it would take a little while to, they have a policy. It's fairly long-winded. I think it needs to be a bit shorter.
Well, I've looked at policies that other communities have done. It's usually the town or the municipality that prepares that policy, not an outside body. So I think you've got to be cautious that you don't allow one agency to prepare a policy for the town when you've other organizations that may want to be involved too.
I think what they meant was sending that policy was just to give us an idea of what we can write, or we will write our own.
Actually, yeah, I've got a draft of that.
So the next ABC, can we put that on the agenda? Councillor Frisbee? did
No,
you-
I was just wondering if this is usually start for a motion.
No, it's all right, if we go to the ABC, I don't
Yep.
think we need to, do you need to make a motion?
I did.
I said, okay, all right. All those in favor?
Just so there's a bit.
Seconds.
Policy by now, okay, because I do agree that we shouldn't allow other people to write our policies for us, and it was pretty long-winded. But it was a good policy.
I think it's important that anything dealing with signage within the town resides within the signage bylaw.
Yeah,
Not a separate entity, which may be residing within an organization that could not be around for,
in a
Ever?
few years, yeah.
you know what I mean?
And you
One last one. I think, do we have to do anything to OCP for regarding this if we were to
No,
bring it in?
no, I did talk to them. It's basically the sign, because it's up, it's, the sign bylaw covers that.
moving right on. Accessory dwelling units and proposed setback modifications. Discussion? Yeah, Mayor.
So I think there were some concerns on some of the height or setback restrictions and perhaps ancillary units within duplexes that we brought forward in the previous meeting. So if you do have a chance to speak to the planner on those.
We have.
it's in Thursday,
Yeah, he was there today.
was in today.
Actually, Councillor Sandu could probably respond.
Mhm.
But I think it's imperative that we deal with those concerns that were brought forward before the next brief, or at the next brief.
Did you have? You didn't want to talk to Councillor Sandy first?
No, he answered my question, so.
Councillor Frisbee?
I had this, so I emailed Mr. Fernandez saying before the next meeting, can we get a report from the fire chief?
Yeah.
As to the price setbacks, have we received anything?
We have, yeah, in fact, I spoke to the fire chief.
Yeah.
And so did the planner today.
Yeah.
And actually, I can send you the email planner sent me, basically saying there's, the fire chief has no concerns with that height or the side setback.
And it's part of the BC building codes, it's not like.
As long as it meets BC.
Again, yeah,
Our current fire equipment, can we reach the 11 meters, or is this what we're talking about for the next crane truck?
Yeah, well, I mean, 10.5 and 11 is not a lot.
Can we service the 10.5?
I believe he can.
Right.
And the only issue is, he thinks at some point we need a ladder truck.
Yeah.
To service buildings that are taller. Because we do have buildings higher than
mhm,
was it we.
because they have to set back. Okay,
Now, there was the other question on accessory unit in a duplex. And the issue is we did make an application for funding through CMHC for that component, saying that we would allow it. So the funding is contingent on that being included in our budget. So that's why,
that funding that we already received,
yes.
great. All right, yes,
My issue with the accessory buildings and duplexes was the idea of the inline parking. Is that something that do we have to require that, or is that something we don't have to do? Because to me, it's once we start stacking cars, that's when it gets.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something that maybe needs to be addressed with the plan
you can see.
and the ABC.
So remember, the ABC is the fourth Thursday of every month at 4 o'clock, and anybody is welcome to come and sit in and ask questions. Anything more on that? Yeah,
On that note, perhaps an invitation to the Arts Council for input on the bylaw signage could be appropriate at that.
yeah, well, they have sent their policy along, I don't know.
That was suggested.
When did Some of that. Oh, he goes, okay, we'll get me in trouble with the arts. Okay, public parks and recreation, nothing, where's Jazz over there? There's nothing going on in the parks right now. No?
So they're all beautiful, there's nothing more to do.
I know, I was gonna say, a lot of people have said how lovely it is, and the guys do a great job, all the guys and gals do a great job.
Yeah, no, they're doing a good job. They're looking good.
Did you?
We are working on a few, but it's slow.
Well, it's like my garden, yeah, nothing's perfect. all the time.
Well, I just want to say, driving in, and I've had friends come in, haven't been in Lake Couching for a couple of years, and driving in this past weekend, they just said, like, it's the beautification, like, just. The town is growing, like, this business fronts are full, they just, and the gardens are beautiful, and, for that, to hear that from somebody who hasn't been here, I think it's great to hear that. I think we should just get a briefing on the vandalism at Saywell on Saturday night, overnight Saturday night.
Well, vandalism is a continuous thing, it's ongoing, we had it a month ago, the brand new washrooms at Duck Pond. After we completed them, the door was broken. One of the neighbors, seen which kid was, whoever did it, contacted their parents, the parents came down with the kid and had it fixed. Before we were even told about it, so. And say, well, that's continuous, so last week. 4 late days, I think it was Wednesday, we noticed a lot of graffiti there and disgusting stuff, the words, so just, I wouldn't even repeat them. We had to sand all the potatoes down, the wall down, repaint them before late days. And then Sunday morning, when I drove through there, there's graffiti back on the wall, large lettering. Down at the dock, too. We had to take some of the signs down at the dock, because we couldn't clean it. So it's just continuous waste of money, time.
Did you get pictures of all those?
Yeah, every time we get it, we report it to the police. They have a file for everyone, but until we catch them red-handed doing it, there's nothing. Nothing.
Right. Counselor Christie?
I was gonna ask the superintendent, is there not a security camera? Or would it be worth it to get the security camera in that area?
We have a few cameras around. I don't like publicly announcing where they are, but we are, again, we were just discussing that the last couple of days, we're gonna bring in a couple of companies and get more cameras, better cameras that are recorded. And so we discussed it with the RCMP too, so they've made some suggestions how to get it.
That's it.
If I may just add, the camera currently at Saywell is just a view of the park. It doesn't accommodate security purposes, so glad to hear that they're looking at expending some tax dollars to alleviate the spending of tax dollars for continuous vandalism. Prior to that, I believe the bathroom was broken into and a number of paper products were strewn throughout Saywell Park.
Yeah.
And I believe there's still a large roll of toilet paper up on.
We wrote it down, I think.
I wouldn't send anyone up there today. It's unfortunate that these incidents occur, and the only ones who are affected by this are the taxpayers of those people who are doing it, unfortunately. So, and I'm not labeling any gender or demographic. It could be adults for all I know. Until you have that security footage, I don't think you can place it on any individual group. But it does seem, speaking with the sergeant, that this is a cyclical event, whether it's every 5 or every 6 years. It'll pause for that many years and then just uptake again. So we're not the only community dealing with this. Fortunately, it's goes with business, I guess.
And they did say a lot of the kids are coming from out of town doing it too. Yes, Counselor?
Just to piggyback on that, from what I understand, that Saywell webcam's been down for 3 years now.
Sorry?
The webcam at
Yeah,
Saywell
we're
Park,
getting it.
it's getting fixed. Yes.
And nothing else on parks. Okay, we had a report whether it was down here or not. Good stuff. Public Works and Environmental Services, school zone signage on Stone Avenue.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I brought this forward with a concern from a local resident up within that area. As we've seen the influx of elementary students within the Lake Cowichan school system, we're seeing a number of pickup zones moving up Stone Avenue. With the incorporation of a number of younger families moving into that area. I think we should approach school board and try to implement the school zone within that stretch of Stone Avenue. But piggybacking on that, there has been concerns of speeding and reckless driving, not only in this area, but along Joel Road, etc. I've received a number of emails about trying to accommodate reduction in speed limits within that area. Aside from looking at reducing the speed limits throughout town, I think by implementing the school zone within Stone Avenue, whether it's the first block or up to the community garden, with proper signage and implementation and input from the local RCMP would be a start. Dealing with the Joel Road and other impacts of speeding, et cetera, would be a further discussion at a different time. But implementing that school zone, I think, is important for the next school year, with proper signage, et cetera. So I hope that we can move that forward to public works with consultation with the school district, perhaps cost sharing on that, with the sign, et cetera.
Just a comment on that, this came up a few months ago, I put a call into the school board and did not get any reply from them, so I'll try them again.
If you need it politically, please let me know.
So just direction the staff to keep that.
Now, please.
Thank you. Anybody? What is our next song? Let's sing back and forth. Excuse me, parking study. We have a quote for the parking study?
Well, we did, as a result of direction from council, we did go out, we issued a call for proposals. And we targeted some companies that are in the business of doing traffic related issues. But we did get one quote from one company called Watts. Just Watts Consultant. And they've done work for Ladysmith and a couple of other communities. And I'll read the quote. We budgeted $25,000. And they've come back with a project cost of $37,535 plus tax. And they put in a pretty good proposal. Based on the work that they're planning on doing, they would be finished by February of 2025.
Or what months, can I just ask one question? What months are they coming, would they come to do this?
They're looking at starting in June. Well, I mean, as soon as it's the water.
Okay,
The major work would be July, August. Our business.
yeah, that's the best.
Then we go off into the off season a little bit, September, October or something, just
So
so
the-
it does, how it changes.
I think it's important that it be implemented during the busy time when we're seeing an influx of dollars within the parking infrastructure we currently have, and how to accommodate either improvements or other infrastructure that may be needed. So I'm glad that at least they're not doing it in the winter time. As for the price, I think if we look at the return that would come from that, I think it would direct us in what the next 5 to 10 years could accommodate our parking needs and our parking accommodations. As we get busier each year, we're finding the increase in conflict and overuse. So I think it's important that we have the people who have the expertise in this, bring us forward some recommendations and then move forward. So if we can put this to the next council for approval or for further discussion. Is there a timeline when that should be awarded?
Well, it's, the sooner the better, because we're already.
Done tonight.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
So as far as the scope, because I know in 2023, council directed and budgeted for a traffic study. So as far as Point Ideal, opening up Fern and things like that,
Well,
would that,
this is not a traffic study, this is
so we've got rid of the traffic study and we're just going.
not just a pop.
So what, parts of Lake Cowichan are going to
Just the uptown area, just from the bridge up this.
the town? Okay, thank you.
Right, Councilor Kennedy?
Could we not add, some traffic into this study? Like even if they have to come back with a bit of an increase, but I think it would make more sense to get both, because they will play. They're both important. They kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion, for making changes and whatnot.
Councilor Thursday?
Yeah, because in the original traffic study was because Point Ideal with the new development coming online and the increased visitors to town. The original idea was to figure out what we should do at the end of Point Ideal and whether Fern should be opened up. And then Mayor McGonigal said we should also figure out downtown as well. So I think that one would affect the other, if I'm not mistaken. Like if Fern gets opened up, we could then move traffic going to Port Renfrew from wherever. So I don't know if that's what's sorry. Yeah, because the end of Fern is blocked off, right?
Yes.
So Point Ideal, the development and housing there, if they turn right on Fern and they were to go to out of town that way. If
Instead
it's
of
stopped,
going to-
instead of going to the end of Point Ideal. So I think that would have a big play on the parking study as well, so I guess council has to decide whether the traffic study should be incorporated into it.
Yeah.
I think the intent with the parking study was to accommodate the need for traffic study. I think was the discussion at the time. One would lead to the other, or one would show the need for accommodating either a traffic study or a traffic calming, and especially Point Ideal and South Shore. I think we were looking at perhaps dealing with MOTI on that intersection. We're quite restricted on what we can do within that intersection with MOTI owning it and then partially the town's property as well. So I think this is a step in the next need was my thought process, but whatever this table decides, I'm happy with.
Right, so we just want the information. For the next regular
Wish to deal with it tonight, you can most certainly make a motion to us.
Somebody needs to make a motion then.
I'll make the motion to hire Watts consulting.
So before you do that, can I remove a separate conflict of interest? Because I feel
You
this-
certainly can. It's up to
My,
you.
because my business's customers are a large part of the parking study, so. I'm gonna do- so-
Okay.
Thank you.
Question before you vote, who's the second or first one? Okay, there's a question, then you have a vote, then you have a vote.
Can I make a quick comment on it before you guys do so?
Okay,
So in the parking study, there is gonna be a little bit of traffic, because they gotta do a bit of traffic study to figure out the parking stuff. Just a little bit of the flow or how many cars are coming out. But if you guys wish to do more of a thing, it would probably be some more fees, but
But it will also delay this.
yeah.
we wanna do this now.
And finally, I think it's imperative we get this done.
Yeah.
in the next portion of the
Yeah.
year. And there will be a small component of the traffic portion as they look at the parking lot. That will be implemented within the study, if I'm not mistaken. If possible, could we get the parameters of the study emailed to us on what they will be accommodating within that? Not
You just want the pages that relate to it?
just relate to what,
Yeah.
what the timelines, we don't want.
Yeah, no, I've actually got the 2 pages here that all,
If that would be appropriate, I think that will give us an indication of what the next steps might be.
okay.
And just another comment on the traffic flow. The ministry did put up some counters, et cetera, on the main road a number of months ago. I do have all that data now, and it's kind of quite interesting because it picks up. It tells you how many people were speeding at what time and where. How many people should have been ticketed. It's pretty interesting data.
Are you suggesting, speak?
Couple of minutes.
No license plate photo?
We did look at Fern Road a number of years ago as as a bypass road. It's not safe in terms of the intersection at South Shore Road. And the cost of the time, just to make that connection, was approximately $100,000. So if you're going to spend that kind of money, you'll have to actually get all of Fern Road redone. So I think, sometimes you've got to be careful what you wish.
You had a question? Dr. Bowman? I was answered.
I think it was.
We've got this.
I think I was asking for clarity on the original, whether we were making the motion to spend the extra money, or was Councillor Sandu making the motion on the 37,000
Yes.
as
Yeah.
us?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
I'll go get Council Thursday.
Maybe. It sounded right at one point that I think it would be a traffic hazard entering right or left off of Furnace. So I've done it. If there's a lot of traffic. Okay, we're moving along to the tour of municipal facilities by council. Did Mr. Smith have a date for us?
Yeah, he did say the last Thursday of Friday of this month.
Last Thursday of this month or Friday? So that's the 28th. What is it, what's everybody? Friday, what time?
yeah.
Well, you picked the time, I guess.
So Friday at 10 a.m.
So that'd be the 28th.
Yeah, meet at the town hall.
And so. Mr. Smith then will get the van or
Don't know. We can speak with-
drive us around.
We got time to figure it out in November. 10 a.m. Okay, that's great. And the last one, anything else on that? No, that's good. July 1st. It's coming together. We have quite a few of the nonprofits organized, and they have their one-day event insurance for that day. And I believe it's on the website already, but we will get it on Facebook as well. So it'll be 11 to 4. So we're doing it a bit 2 hours longer than if you want one for your store.
I was gonna see if we can actually have one
You
too.
can give to other businesses.
We should go on Jake's.
I'll give them to you like that. Okay, we'll get some more made. I put them in a few spots as well. So it's coming along. It should be fine. Alistair McGregor is coming. He'll be here between 2:30 and 3, and then he goes to Sachi. Sonia Personal is unable to come. And other than that, they have the rest of us, and you're all welcome to be there. I will be ordering 100 cupcakes this year. They're a little easier to handle than the cake. And not as messy. And we're hoping, it's a family affair. I've asked all the nonprofits to have something at their table for children. either some goodies or a little game or something like that. There'll be obviously face painting. Bouncy Castle by Country Grocer, which is what we had at Lake Days this last weekend, and it was quite exciting. So, and I think they're giving out free watermelon like they did last year, so I applied some pins and I'm gonna try and get some, root beer suckers and things like that, so. Anybody else that wants to do anything else? I'm gonna help us set up at 10 o'clock that day.
Was it in use to do the house council?
Country Grocer. Yeah. Yeah, it took a while to get it, but they've got it. It's coming it's coming about 6 o'clock in the morning, so someone's gonna have to be sitting there taking care of it, so nobody hurts it. And then they have to sit there at night, so the guys pick it up. So that'll bring more kids in, and they think we're gonna get a lot of people, but I said, don't forget July 1st, a lot of people do go away. And also something's happening with Lake America, so. I'm counting on 100 cupcakes, and I think that will be enough. We did about 85 last year. Anything else? There's lots of music, starting with our 310, that one's still gonna be in Victoria or somewhere. And then other musicians in the afternoon, younger, different groups.
Where's it held?
Central Park, the best park in town, because there's shade, there's picnic tables,
Maybe we could, bring some more, of the picnic tables down there with the umbrellas.
Yeah, that's what I was also transfer the big
we'll
cupcake.
talk to the superintendent. I'll talk to the superintendent, yes, yes, what?
I was just looking to see if we had business.
I missed it. Oh, sorry, I haven't finished that. It's after July 1st. It's, so we finished July 1st. Everybody happy with that? Yes?
I think I will personally reach out to the First Nation and see if there's, any way that they would consider attending or what they would like to do. If they wish to attend, I will at least forward that invitation. Knowing that there still is some hard feelings on colonialism within most First Nations throughout Canada. But I will personally reach out to see if they would consider joining.
Just let me know for the agenda. We'll do that. And we are collaborating with Country Grocer and the Arts Council. The Arts Council are handling the music and that type of thing. So it is a collaboration. Okay, thank you. And the number C or letter C is ministers' meetings at UBCM. You want to start first?
I will start. We brought this forward for our CAO to get some background information on which ministers we'd like to meet with and what the topics are. I think first of all, I'd like to have one with the Minister of Housing regarding the implementation of new regulations and the Crown land discussion on what could be accommodated with vacant Crown land and the need for infrastructure money to accommodate those increased housing needs. It's all well and good to give targets, etc., and chastise communities who are not meeting those targets. But without implementing funds to accommodate the infrastructure needed, we will not meet those targets without considerable tax increases. So that's the one minister I would like to meet with. If you can bring forward the 2 Crown properties that are now vacant that the school board owns. I think that would be a good topic for discussion on how we can accommodate densification within those 2 properties. Part of the concern is that from the school board is to keep the standing order property for future school. And we all know that within our lifetime, we will not see that. And I'm sorry to say that, but having gone from number 1 on the capital project list to not even listed now, I don't believe there will ever be another school built in the town of Lake Cowichan. That's just my personal opinion, but we can continue to lobby for the proper use and best use of those Crown. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes. Councilor Sandy? He's scared there. Well, I have something to say. I'll wait till.
So
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say regarding AV Greenwell, like where are we with what was what we were planning a few years ago? Like, is there still discussion that we can have?
No,
Why?
it's been frozen,
What does that mean? though? What
meaning
is
the
frozen?
province is not going to release those lands. That's what
Could we request and ask him to get something in writing, like?
Yes. And if I may, that's the reason for the discussion on crown lands. We were asked to identify crown lands. Why? I have no idea, because if it's crown land, the province should know
They
where
know
it
what
is.
it is.
And for housing. So if we can accommodate that discussion and the non-farm use that we spoke of for access to Trails Edge to take away some of the congestion and for accommodation of some infrastructure for the fire department training facility, et cetera. Those discussions have been frozen because of the identification of crown land and the need for housing and new regulations. But I don't think that it has to be all one. It can be a plethora of incidents that could accommodate the crown.
So if I may, just one more comment on that, is that, like, we have property like where Public Works is now. That's a central location that could be served for seniors housing, for other things, central downtown. Avery Greenwell's way, that property's way out of the way. So what I want to say is, can we have this discussion on, this is what we'd love to do, and this is what we would turn into for, and maybe
Yeah.
that kind of direction would maybe open the can of worms again.
Yeah. And I'd like to meet with the Minister of Education anyway, because I think we do need to push for an elementary school. I know, we've got lots of babies, I'm under health, we have 30 to 40 babies a year. There, some of them are starting kindergarten this year, there's how many portables there, I don't even know how many now. And that's how come we lost Strong Start, because they had a daycare there. And talk about Strong Start, so I'd like to talk to the Minister of Education as well, please. Yes?
I'm wondering whether, meeting with Minister of the Environment could be worthwhile, being what was on our agenda tonight. It's evil that people are beginning to take over the water and build.
Piggybacking on that, perhaps a collaborative meeting with our two local area directors on riparian issues within the Ministry of Environment may be appropriate.
Evils.
I can very-
Is that enough?
Well,
Three is enough.
Yeah.
We don't want to miss any, I think,
Ministry of Health
on,
on the need for an urgent care facility within the western communities of Lake Cowichan, Huntington Bay, Board Savage Lake, similar to what is accommodated in Leedsmith and Schmanis. Take pressure off the emergency rooms and the lack of people who have a doctor, a family doctor. Could be lessen the pressure on the healthcare system.
well, it was funny, because the clinics here in the old days could do stitching up, casts, all sorts of stuff, and then they stopped that. So, okay, so we got 4 now.
Let's stop there. We won't have all 4.
We'll never get to see anything else while we're there. Okay, is that good enough for everybody? We'll get information in advance so we know
Kind of a plan of what we're going to be saying, like,
and hope they're not all available at the same
And
time.
I would hope, if I may, that we share the speaking notes. I don't think it's imperative that the mayor or any one person lead that discussion. I think we saw how accommodating that was during our talk about our water treatment plant and our sewer treatment plant with the municipal ministers at that time. And that was a tag team effort. I think it's important that we all contribute within the discussion. There's your heads up.
Heads up, we have them. Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, notices of motion, any notice of motion for the next meeting?
Not a notice of motion, Madam Chair, but we usually have public events on some agendas, and I think I would like to take the opportunity to thank the organizing committee of Lake Days and everyone who volunteered and participated in the celebration. I watched Facebook posts as we were Calgary for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, lobbying for more funding in the fiscal framework, which hopefully will help us accommodate some of the infrastructure needs. I'm hoping that myself and Councilor Frisbee could perhaps report on some of the stuff that we attended at the next council meeting, so that will be heads up to you, Councilor Frisbee, so I don't put you on the spot. But also to congratulate this year's ambassador team. I think we've seen the growth, rebirth of that program, and hope it continues. So to everyone who had anything to do with Lake Days, Public Works, thank you for all your help during Lake Days. The town staff, we're dealing with the sale of the barbecue tickets. And for everyone who attended and reinitiated camaraderie, family, Lake Days and community. I think it's nice to see.
Councilor,
I just wanted to say that it really was family oriented, and you saw that like with the 2 bouncy castles, the climbing wall. The music bingo was a success for, you know, for adults and for kids, and so there was, and the locker sports was another one, so it really was a showcase of just, you know, people going in there 2 or 3 hours, and the food trucks ran out of food except for one. So that said that people were spending money in the community and enjoying themselves. It was a little too hot, but I would rather see that than rain, so. Anyway.
yeah,
Thank you to Public Works and town staff for everything they did to the lead up and up Lake Days, because without everybody working together, it won't be a success, and it was.
that's great. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Question period, limited to items on the agenda or off-site, please phone 250-749-3239. That's 749-3239. And for in-person, a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. If either of you have anything you wish to discuss.
My name is Bill Garrett. I'm living at 220 Lake Park Road. On the agenda tonight was the issue of the school zones and suggestion of working with the school division on signage and whatnot. I've been the manager of my strata since 2017. Speeding cars and whatnot has always been an issue within our strata. And the 2 adjoining stratas, we got a total of 79 households in the area. Initially, we tried signs. They don't work. In fact, people pull them out of the ground and throw them away. What we did find that works are speed bumps. Significant speed bumps right in the main traffic area. It took care of, I would say, 95% of the speeding. And for those people that don't really pay much attention to the speed bumps, I don't think their vehicles are gonna last much longer based on the
Seen
routes.
it happen on.
So just food for thought.
Yeah. Sir, did you have anything?
No, I was chatting with Lorna yesterday and she invited me to come out and I thought I would do it. I live here at the end of Point Ideal Drive. I know both Jazz and Joe from, I live in the old Paul Jordan house there. So,
Also, yeah.
yeah, so I just, I thought I'm gonna come out and
See
see,
what we do.
see how our little paradise is going.
Well, we try our best to accommodate everybody and everything, but you know, we can't always get it right. We try,
Yeah,
you know, with the best we do. So thank you for being here.
oh, my pleasure.
Anybody else? No? No phone? I never heard that phone ring. You sure it works?
It was.
I'm gonna get Gordon to phone in my life just for something to do. Pardon? It does work. Are you testing it now?
No, I did it last time.
Oh, okay,
It works.
good. Okay, seeing that we, oh, my, that's Gordon. Gordon, don't be Gordon. What's the mayor? Oh, and, no, yeah, that's the second. You're gonna get it. I'm not talking to him. What is it?
Would like to move adjournment of the meeting.
No.
Oh,
Adjournment.
you.
Okay, that is very weird, but thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. There's no in camera.